Welcome to the info session for the 2026 residency at the Chicago Avenue Fire Arts Center. We're hoping that we can answer all of your questions today so that you can put a successful application. What? Oh. Okay. Okay, we are going to go through just a few slides that give the scope of the residency and dates and important information. And then we're going to open up the floor to you and hopefully answer any questions you might have. So,
All right, so this is kind of a time for you to be able to kind of have 4 months to really focus in on a project and something that you want to do. So you'll have access to the space and equipment and tools that you'll need. And you'll have some training and mentorship options here. This is a community space, so there's lots of artists and folks that come in and out that you'll have access to really. And you'll also have the opportunity to do a class.
within the time frame of your residency, so in that 4-month period.
And there's a $1,500 stipend and then $500 for materials.
Okay. That makes sense to everybody? So this year we went two different directions because we saw such a need for both early and mid-career artists, and we didn't want them to be in the same pot because they're at different points in their career. So you'll self-select, given the guidelines in the application, whether you consider yourself early or mid-career. You will include your background and experience answering a series of questions on the application. We want you to look at the dates and make sure that you can actually be here for the time commitment, which we like to say about 15 to 20 hours a week is ideal. You'll give us your project description and the scope and your project description and how it will culminate. There are a few different options for how it will culminate. Some people do a presentation or offer a class or install a work or
do an exhibit or artist talk of some form. So it can really look like a lot of different things for that part.
It can. And there is a question in the application that aligns with our mission and vision to increase representation in the fire arts fields. You don't have to answer that question, but if you think that it would be compelling to the jurors, please answer that question thoughtfully. So here's the structure of the residency. You'll be asked to select your primary art form. So there's a list of fire arts that we offer studio and instruction for here at the center. And what that can look like for an artist is if you're an early career and if you're a painter, for example, and you would like to try enameling for public art applications. We have that capacity here, so you select that option, and then we'll set up a training and an orientation to that programming area and introduce you to other people that are working in that craft. So all helping you realize the vision that you articulate in your application. You'll start in July, right after the 4th of July holiday. I think it's the 6th,
I think,
this year. 2 artists will be part of your cohort. Again, one early career and one mid-career. And we love the idea of a creative culminating project. Those opportunities or options that we just listed are things that have already been done by residents, but we never know until you tell us what you would like to culminate with. So we're open to really creative.
And it's like a goal for you to kind of shoot for as well.
Right, within the scope of the 4 months. Here are some important dates. You'll all have access to this PowerPoint presentation. The deadline to apply is March 16th. You'll be notified at the end of April, by the end of April.
Yeah.
And we know that we begin on July 6th, but the final, the end of your residency will be October 31st. And the culminating event has to be included in that time. Does that make sense?
Is that everything? Yeah.
Yes.
And now you may ask
We're ready.
questions.
Okay.
Successful finial projects.
Yes. On our site, on our residency page, do we have images of previous?
We have a couple photos of previous residents' work. I know you have a lot of photos of the last exhibition that a resident did.
The last what?
Exhibition that a resident did.
Oh, yeah.
I think there's a recording of the artist talk.
Yes.
So, yeah, we should chat. We can get that.
I can, yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's a
can
really
get
good
that
question.
information. Yeah.
And we'd love to
I
show
think
you.
it lives here on my phone.
But we can make it live on our residency page. Yes.
If you choose to do an exhibition, is that within the July to October timeframe? Or does that
It has to be installed by,
Yeah, it has to be installed, but we have until, yeah, you would have until before Thanksgiving that last week. I can't remember. I looked at that date. Let me look at the date for that because I had just looked at that.
your work has to be complete and installed by the end of your residency. And then I believe there is a 3-week exhibition.
The exhibition can take place in November. Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
I have a question for the Zoom. Could you talk a bit more about mentorship and training?
Yes. So this year you're going to select one focus area. And then we align your project idea with the best instructor to guide you in that craft, especially if you're unfamiliar, completely unfamiliar. And that can mean a lot of things. It's in foundry casting, in glass, we have multiple instructors. So the factors are their availability and their understanding of what you're trying to achieve and their skill set aligning with that. So in some areas like neon, we have 2 instructors. It's a little bit more challenging to align when there's very limited options. But with welding, we have 5 different people that we can choose from. So we'll connect you with an artist that makes sense for realizing the vision that you have identified.
And there will be like in that first the orientation, we're gonna get where you blah.
You get
There's going to
familiarized.
be where we'll have a meet and greet with like the CAFAC, our community. So like our instructors, and we'll just have like a meal and hang out and get
Instructors
to
and
know each
staff.
other.
And then you'll get to meet the regular shop users.
Yeah.
So we have a program here called Spark. So after you're trained in an area, you can test out with a field and written test in your programming area and just use the shop. So those people are here all the time throughout the day. So you never know who you're going to bump into and what they'll be working on. But then as far as mentorship, you have a weekly touch base with Jill and I, and we'll help guide like sharing resources for finding your consumables and your materials, and we'll help guide you to further education if you feel like you need a deeper dive in order to work autonomously. But really the goal is for you to get the training you need and the orientation you need to be able to fulfill the vision identified in your proposal really on your own. You want to be able to just come in here and work and realize that vision.
Yeah,
Does
and
that
build
make
some
sense?
confidence in whatever chosen fire art that you are
Mhm.
focused on.
But that weekly touch base is really so that we can assist and guide you as you're moving through it in those 4 months.
Mhm.
Does that work?
It sounds like.
Excellent.
And class in the main discipline that you want, or do you recommend?
So that
I
has
feel like
taken all
we've
kinds
seen
of different
people
forms.
do, yeah, different
Sometimes somebody's here
things.
working in Foundry and they're like, I want to take a jewelry class. You do
Yeah.
get to take a class during that 4-month time period. So sometimes people take like a deeper dive into their craft. You know, last year we had an iron pour going on at the same time, and so the artist jumped in on one of the classes and was able to add an iron piece to their exhibition. Yeah, everybody does it a little bit differently. Sometimes people want to um, they want to try something completely different that's unrelated to their residency, and that's fine too.
Yeah, because maybe a class will come up that you're like, I would love to do that.
Yeah, I just want to
So,
try neon
yeah.
or whatever, even if it's outside of the scope of it's just a perk. It's like it's something that we can offer that deepens your relationship with the community and hopefully sparks more interest in fire arts. You know, there's all kinds of ways to integrate various crafts into your practice,
Mhm.
and you don't know until you know. So, got to dive in. Any other questions? About you?
Yeah, no, I was going to that when you get started. So, is the exhibition, this is something like a project that people who do the residency, they
It's a culminating,
something, the culminating event that's like at the end of the residency.
Mhm.
yep.
Yep, correct. Yep.
It takes all different forms though. So we've had artists that are doing a piece of sculpture in their residency and their culminating event was offsite. They installed it.
Mhm.
Sometimes it's an artist talk. So we had one resident that
I think we've had a
learned
couple
a
that way,
ton.
haven't we?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
where
definitely.
you just meet and talk about what you learned in the residency. It can be something as simple as that, really.
An artist talk, yes.
Yeah.
You can also teach a workshop. Some artists choose to do that. You can have a show. If you're trying something completely innovative and new and you created a process that we don't teach here, that's super cool if you can offer that as a workshop to other people. Yeah, we don't want to there is always a culminating event or project at the end of the 4 months, but it's taken all kinds of different forms.
Sorry, that was our air compressor.
And it
Huh.
likes to do that.
Yeah.
Residencies, it seems like there's multiple slots.
There are one person will be early career and one person will be mid-career. And
Mhm.
you self-select given the guidelines in the application.
Mhm.
So yeah, what we found last year was that we had such a spectrum
Yeah.
of experience. And we were like, that's not really fair to have people that are very well-established artists in the
Compete
same,
against.
yeah, in
Yeah.
the same pot as people that were trying something completely new and weren't very well established. So we just put what we understand the definitions of early and mid-career, read those, see what one aligns with your practice, and then that's the group that you would select. If that makes sense? Yeah.
Generally, how many applicants do you see per year?
It has,
50 to 40, I would say, generally.
no, I mean, I think last year we had more than that, didn't we? I can't remember. Was it? Okay. Maybe I'm
somewhere
thinking
around
of the
there.
other one.
We've been doing this in many different iterations. This is really a process for us as well, because we want people to have the opportunity to do a deep dive. And we have 3 different pillars of our work here. So there is that gallery exhibition. There's the working artists support. that we have. So there was a residency track there. We specifically focused on that, which we've had a couple iterations of. And then we had the studio residency, which is what we're offering to you right now. And the studio residency is a hands-on, you're creating something and you're learning to go a little deeper in that craft. The third pillar of what we do here is public art, and it's really going to be extraordinary to have a residency. It is.
Yeah.
To have a residency where you're learning from concept to installation, all of the nitty-gritty of that field. So this is what we're offering this time, but keep an eye if those other opportunities are something that's of interest to you as well. Other questions? Yeah.
For application, do you kind of like focusing more on what you've already done or focusing more on what you're hoping to create?
I think that the being able to show us what your skills are in that is going to be important, like what you already have built.
But then you want to
But
push yourself
I
and
think
try
you
something
also-
new.
Yeah.
And really you want to, a residency is about a unique opportunity, right?
Mhm.
Like I have this great idea to take my practice next level, and this will be a stepping stone in my career. That's very compelling to
The
us.
opportunity to play.
Yeah, the
you know,
opportunity to
and try.
play and have a little bit of that income replacement and the opportunity to get more materials and tools that maybe you couldn't fit into your budget. It's an opportunity to do something more, something beyond what you've been able to practice thus far.
And have the support and the equipment
Mhm.
available.
Yeah, exactly.
Anybody else? Does anybody on Zoom have any questions either? On the interwebs? Okay. I think it would be, if nobody else has any questions, we should do a tour of the space so you can see what kind of,
Yeah.
unless,
See the facility and what we have available here for you to play with.
I guess
Okay.
somehow.